All righty, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of J3U After Hours. Of course, we have my tried and true Alex Ball and our special guest, Renee Jewett. Renee, how are you today?
I'm doing very good. It's cold outside here in San Antonio. If anybody out there didn't know that we live in San Antonio, which I'm sure everybody does, but it's like 56 degrees or something. So that's really cold for me. And our house stays really cold. So
Yeah,
yeah.
what's it like? Is John like are you both guys like just constant like thermoses, like just
So
spacing?
I mean he runs hot, right? So he would prefer that the house stay like ice cold
Yeah.
24/7, which it does. Like because he can only take off so many clothes. I can just like keep putting layers on if I'm cold, right? But I prefer to be a little bit on the warmer side,
Yeah.
you know.
What's your preferred temperature for a house?
For a house, oh gosh. Just like during the day, like normal, I would say like 72. But if I'm going to bed, I'm saying like 68-ish.
That's fair. Those are passable numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 67 right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're chilling
It's
like
a
60.
little, it's a little cool.
Yeah. That's wild.
Um, yeah, so but I grew up in Hawaii, right? So like I'm used to it being very like warm.
That's
So, like, I had an apartment and like peak summer, like the sun would come through like my window and I'd be going to sleep and there was no AC. Like, I didn't even have like a ceiling fan. It had to have been at least like 98 degrees majority of the time. And like, it was like I could like pass out like nobody's business in that apartment, but a part of me thinks that it was like almost like heat induced, like
oh my
like
God.
Heat
just passing
exhaustion.
out.
Yeah. I can imagine. When did you move? Like when did you move? Was it San Antonio was your first move or like how'd that come?
No, I kind of like moved around for a while. So I moved when I was around like 21 when I finally left. But you know, born and raised there,
Mhm.
very small town. So from there, I moved to California of all places, and not only just California, I moved to LA,
Oh,
like smack dab LA. So going from like a very small, slow-paced, Hawaiian town to, a huge, like crazy busy city, it was like it was just shocking to me. It really was. Just it was my first time driving on like a freeway. Like it was a completely different world.
yeah. I can't even imagine. And then from there, like, did you just like work your way down south or like,
So from there, I stayed there for about a year, decided it wasn't for me. Um, and then I went up to Montana for about a year. Um, and where I moved in Montana, it was a very small town. My first time going through like a true winter,
hmm,
like driving in the snow. I didn't know how to drive in the snow. I can't tell you how many times I like slid through stop signs because what you're supposed to like slowly break through stop signs. I didn't know that. So I'm surprised I didn't kill myself. Stayed up there for a year, came down to or there were I was working for a company that I traveled a lot. So I lived a couple of months in like Wyoming and Florida. And then eventually I made my way down to San Antonio. And then
okay.
I lived in San Antonio for about a year, left, went up to Oregon, lived with my sister for about a year, and then came back down to San Antonio and have been here ever since.
You
So
Just
just,
the
I've
culture shock.
kind of been like all over the place.
yeah, that's
That
crazy.
the culture shock of each of those climates, just year after year, is
Yeah.
absurd.
Yeah, it really was a culture shock. I mean, where I'm from, it's just if have either of you been to Hawaii?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
It's just very like slow paced and like it's pretty like laid back and just like the people are different too. So to move somewhere where it was just very much like faster paced, just people are different. It really was just culture shock to me. So now, like, I try and go back like at least once a year to visit family, and now it's like kind of like the opposite culture shock. I'm like, whoa, like everybody's like very different here now. Like,
Oh, that's
oh,
wild.
good. So it's kind of
So
funny.
then from there, you like we're gonna assume like everyone knows who you are, right? Like everyone listening, we're gonna assume. And it's funny when I first talked to John like in person, we were at Luke's house, just in his kitchen. It was just me and him. And I was like, well, I don't really know what to talk to him about. And so like, cause it's like you kind of are balancing that, okay, like we're friends, but you're my boss, but then like I'm also getting to know John Jewett. And the first thing I was like, hey man, I don't know if you know, but like your wife's more popular than you. And he started dying laughing because like when I got hired on and I was like telling my clients, like, hey, like explaining to them what J3U was. Not many people, knew what it was. Like a lot of the meatheads did, but not like the average people. So any of my girls, I'm like, this the girl Renee on Instagram, and they're like, oh my god, I love her. And then I'm
Except you
like,
can't say Renee, you have to say Roxy.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, Roxy, yes, the alter ego, and they're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
and I'd be like, yeah, like it's okay. So she has a husband, and like he does this thing, and like, oh, cool. So like she's gonna be with it, and I was like, yeah, like yes, she'll be. But like
I'm
you
just
were,
I like I've always been like part of J3U, right? But I think a lot of people don't realize that because I've always kind of like been on the back end of it. Like when it started, I was doing a lot of the like video editing and like a lot of the like back end stuff. So nobody really saw me like front facing like part of it.
yeah,
Which I think that has like changed a little bit with me now like coaching with
yeah,
J3U and being like more front facing, I guess.
yeah.
So
It's cool to see. It's a cool dynamic. Because yeah, like I said, but that was like the kicker. I was like, John, like nobody, not a lot of people know who you are, but like your wife's the. Um, that's great. So yeah, we got a bunch of questions, Chris. We'll start knocking them out.
Yeah, we got a few to set the tone. Renee, you're going to a gas station. Macros don't matter. This is not to swap a meal. You're picking three items. What are you picking and why?
this is just me now. Like if I left the house right now and went to the gas station,
Yeah, yeah, free reign.
free reign. Oh gosh. Um, ugh.
I know it's gonna be so good.
And there's no wrong answers. Colton picked a hot dog and chocolate milk. So
Oh God, gas station hot dog is terrible idea. Terrible
It was the
idea.
chocolate milk that threw it. I was like, bro, what?
Like, are you eating the hot dog and chocolate milk together? Or
I
It
think
sounded
so.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, that sounds pretty gross. Oh man. So the first thing that pops up into my mind is a Snickers.
Okay.
Good call.
Um, and then I'm not eating these together, but probably like a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yes.
There we
Yes.
there we
Thank you. You got a third though.
A third. Now I need something salty. So I'm going with the kettle cooked like jalapeno like chips.
Beautiful choice.
Good call.
Beautiful choice.
Look at
I
that.
give this a score of an A plus. If you okay, so next one. Current, it doesn't have to be just one if there's numerous. You don't have to pick a favorite child in this, but what some of your favorite current songs that you're listening to in the gym?
Ooh, so we just went to a Spirit Box concert in Austin.
Nice.
So, and it was amazing. Like it was great. So they've still kind of like been in my head. And the you said a song, right?
Hmm.
They have a song called, I believe it's called Perfect Soul, and that one's been like on repeat in my head. So
Lovely choice.
Yeah.
And last but not least, before we move into listener questions, what kind of animal do you feel like in this current moment?
in this current moment,
Hmm.
I feel like I'm always like very cat-like, but not like a cute fluffy house version. It's more like a feral cat. And I could go into detail of why that is, but if I
Hmm.
were an
Let's
animal,
hear
it
it.
definitely would be a feral cat.
So not a house cat,
No,
an outside cat.
definitely not a house cat. I'm the cat that you found behind the dumpster and it tried to attack you at first, but you eventually gained its trust and now it's your best friend.
Okay. I love that. I love the explanation so much.
That's
Incredible.
that's so fitting. Oh, that's awesome.
That's me in a nutshell. It really is.
I love that. It really sets the tone. And now we're gonna move into like some more serious, some serious, some not. What is your favorite glute exercise? We probably got 900 renditions of this question asked.
Yeah.
I can only choose one glute exercise. It's going to be um, a hip thrust, but specifically out of the Smith machine because I have like the perfect setup right now. Like I use a block, specific block that my feet go on, and then I have a specific bench that I use, and then I have my own like bar pad that I bring to the gym. And like
Mm,
that whole setup that I have, just something about it is I just my glutes will like light up on that. Like because we have all kinds of different like we have the glute drive, we have like the booty blaster, we have a bunch of like glute specific machines at the gym.
mhm,
But that one, like I love doing it. I have great connection. I can progress up on it like pretty easily. So
mhm.
I'd probably say that.
What machine wise, if we're separating out a Smith machine, just going brands of lines for hip thrust, what would you say is like your favorite and least favorite brand that you've used?
Oh God, brand. I can tell you like my least favorite. So when we went to the Olympia, we went to the new was it New Tech?
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
They have a lot of interesting equipment. And I did try quite a few of their like I tried their hip thrust, I tried their like abduction machine. And it's like none of them felt good. It's like there's too
mm,
many adjustments and like it's like overcomplicated to the point where it's just like there's too many things to adjust and like how you fit in it and there's things moving that should not be moving.
mhm,
So that has been like my least favorite that I've tried. My most favorite, I don't know. I don't know what brand it is, just a like regular like glute drive.
mhm,
Yeah. It'd probably be like what, like a Nautilus or
Yeah,
something.
I think it's a
Cybex,
Nautilus.
yeah.
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
Good choice.
So let me ask you this: does the feral cat come out? Like, let's say you have the Smith machine open, but then your bench is gone. Do you?
Actually, this happened yesterday. And you
I'm
know
sure.
who had my bench? John had my bench.
John,
Oh, Jonathan.
who
And
wins?
I told him, I was like, look, like you can use it first. But when you're done, you have to bring it over to me. And then we shook on it.
Oh my God. We should go. All right. Do y'all live on the trust foundation of pinky promises in the relationship?
We're more like handshake.
Really? It's like official. Okay. I like that. It's
It's a business
straight to the
transaction.
business. Yeah.
We're like, that's so weird.
No, dude, with the contracts John made us sign, I fully believe it.
Yeah, 100%.
He's thorough.
He's very business.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like to a lot of people he can come off as being like very like,
Yeah.
rigid business,
Yeah.
like he's
It's so fun to because like the more like we get to know him, the more like I tell people like he's just a freaking meathead, but he's intelligent. Like he loves bodybuilding. He's just like us. Like he has a sense of humor. It's
yeah,
the
I mean, of course when I first met him, I just I saw him and I was like, this guy is definitely like a meathead, right?
Yeah.
But then I actually talked to him and I was like, oh, you're actually like really smart and I can actually have a conversation with you.
Was that the IHOP experience?
It was,
Yeah. How'd that,
yeah.
okay, lay that out for us. How did that go?
Okay, so Thanksgiving was like 2 days before this, and
Mhm.
I was living on my own. I didn't have like family here. So I went to the gym that morning of Thanksgiving. And then, I went to the grocery store and I was like, Thanksgiving, I'm going to get a frozen pizza and I'm going to get like this ice cream and I'm just going to enjoy it. So I went home, had my pizza, had my ice cream, laid on the couch. My friend called me and she's like, hey, come to my family's house and have Thanksgiving with me. So I was like, okay. Went to their house and had like a bunch of Thanksgiving food. Then of course, felt like super like fat and bloated. And I was like, God, I just need to like get back to the gym and like feel better. So it was a Sunday and me and John, like we knew each other like from social media, but we've never like met in person.
Mhm.
So I needed some dumbbells that were like, I needed to like pass him in order to get these dumbbells. And I'm not one to like talk to people in the gym at all. So I was like, oh, damn it. Like, I need those dumbbells. I kind of know this person, but not really. And if I go over there, he's going to recognize me. So I have to say something or else it's going to be like awkward.
Yeah.
So, like, I passed by him. I was like, oh, hey, like, how's it going? And he was like, so we had the little like introduction, talk for like a minute, grabbed my dumbbells, went back to what I was doing. And a couple minutes pass and like he comes up to me and he's like, hey, he's like, after this, would you want to like maybe go get some IHOP? And I was like, ugh. Like there was like a real hesitation
Mhm.
because I was like, I ate like shit on Thanksgiving. And I told him that. I was like, look, like I ate like terrible on Thanksgiving. Like the last thing I need is to like go eat IHOP. And he was like, well, they have like egg whites and like, like I'm like,
They get turkey bacon. It'll be
yeah,
fine.
exactly. He was like, they have like healthy stuff, healthy options. I was like, oh, okay. So I said yes. And after our workouts, like, of course, we're like driving separate. IHOP's just like across the highway.
Yeah.
So I get there first and I see him pull up in a Mustang, right? And it's like in big like letters on the bottom of it. It's like American Muscle Mustang. I'm like, this guy is this guy's a meathead. Like all of it combined, I was just like, yeah, he was probably wearing like atomics at the time. And I was
Mhm.
just like,
Hell yeah.
I was just
Hell
like,
yeah.
oh God. I was like, what am I getting myself into? So we go in and like he like picks out what I'm gonna eat. And of course it's like egg whites and like turkey bacon and like the
Yeah.
healthier options, which I didn't know at the time, but I mean that set me up for the rest of our relationship. He's been telling me what to eat ever pretty much ever since. In a good way though.
Yeah.
Anyways, like we sit down, we have a conversation, and I find out he's actually funny and smart. And I was like, you do not fit what I had like initially like thought about you. I was like, you're actually a smart guy. You're not a meathead. I was like, okay.
Yeah. That's so funny. I can imagine like the Mustang you think he's pulls up like drinking a Nos drink and like an American Fighter t-shirt or something like just something.
Yeah. Or like affliction,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
And then later on, he was like, I just need to make it clear, I didn't put that sticker on my car. He was like, I bought this Mustang from like a 60-year-old man. It was already on there. I
Yeah.
was like,
You know, the entire drive over there, he was thinking about that. He's like,
Yeah.
shit, she's
He's
gonna
like,
see
oh.
this.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's awesome to hear. It's like it was like to the point. Like John didn't waste any time. Like
yeah, I
introduction.
guess that he like in between like our introduction and me going back to my workout, he was texting like his best friend. He was like, this girl like came up to me and she's like talking to me. He's like, should I
Yeah.
like go talk to her? And his friend was like, yeah, you should go like ask her out.
That's awesome. Y'all heard it here first, guys. Don't be afraid. If the girl talks first, don't be afraid to shoot your shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take her to IHOP.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
What's the worst that could happen, right? She's gonna say no. It's
Yeah.
fine.
We did get asked, coincidentally enough, by John, advice on how to pull a hot husband like John.
How to pull a hot husband like John.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. I guess look hungry at the gym.
Look hungry.
Have this
That girl needs some
desperation in
pancakes.
your
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah. He's like, she needs pancakes. Let me
Yeah.
save her.
Yeah.
Go feed her.
You can feed her.
It comes back to the feral cat thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do?
Like,
You give it
yeah,
food
you give it a
first.
little
Yeah,
food,
you
you
got
gain its trust, and you like reel it in.
Yeah. Dude, John's so onto something with that. You're
Yeah.
right. Like
that's
you
incredible.
gotta, yeah, feed him first. Oh, that's great. Okay, so we have a relationship question. This is a scenario that was pitched amongst a group chat. And I was like, I wonder what Renee and John, like, I wonder what Renee would say. And then now that we have like side bets on what you're gonna say. So I want to see. So the scenario is okay, group of guys, like let's say John's invited to like my bachelor party. We're going to a strip club. What is to me, there's three types of like scenarios. The girl's going to be like, ooh, no, you're not. Two, they're going to be like, yeah, okay, whatever, have fun, I trust you. And then the third one's like, everyone move, I'm coming with you. So which scenario would you be in this situation? If it were John.
I'm the one that is gonna be like, hell yeah, let's go to the strip club. And
Yes.
he's gonna be like, oh, I'd rather not.
Oh, I so knew it. I so knew it. I was like, no, dude, Renee. It's like she goes
I'm
to
the one
Comic
that's gonna
Con.
have to like hold him by the hand and bring him into the strip club.
Hell yes.
So we had friends over, like this was like a month or so ago, and this is just gonna speak to John and like his character.
Yeah.
We were asking questions, right? And one of the questions was if you had a hall pass, right? What
Mhm.
celebrity would be your hall pass?
Yeah.
And we were kind of like going around and everybody was answering. And we get to John, like everybody had already answered by this point.
Yeah.
We get to John. It's like, who would your hall pass be? And he sits there and he like thinks for a minute. He's like, nobody. He's like, Renee, you'd be my hall pass.
Oh.
I'm just like, okay, like
And you're like, well, now I can't
it's
answer.
like I already answered. And I felt like, okay, I'm the dick. All right,
Yeah.
whatever. But
Who
he's like,
who
I wouldn't need anyone else. He's like, and the thing is, that's like how he actually is. He wasn't just saying that to say that, right? Like that's
Yeah.
just who he is as a human.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome. We so knew it. We called it. You'd be the cool girlfriend that goes to the strip club for sure. Yeah, we'll work on getting John there, but in the meantime.
Yeah,
That
we're
was the
gonna
only question
outsource
Alex had.
him.
So
That was the
we'll
only
just
question I had. Yeah, I was like,
we'll,
I'm
we'll
good.
wrap it up, guys. Thank you,
Yeah.
Renee, for coming. Um,
Just
Actually,
you
I think
go.
okay, so actually he told me a story about he went to a bachelor party for like his friend. They went to a strip club and he was in prep at the time and he was like, yeah, I was just like sitting there with like my food, just like,
Yeah.
like what the fuck am I doing here? He was like, I actually had to leave and go to the car and just like sit there. And I was like,
Oh my
I'm
God.
not surprised.
Yeah.
Really not surprised.
Bro had no fun at the strip club.
Like this is lame. He would rather watch half-naked guys on a bodybuilding stage than go to a strip club.
That's the man you want to marry, honestly.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's the
exactly. Exactly.
Renee's got the cheat code.
Let's see. Let's see. We'll kind of keep the relationship stuff. What lessons have you or John or collectively learned throughout prepping in a relationship? Because obviously you guys have prepped together. John's your coach. Like, kind of walk through what that dynamic looks like.
I think it's definitely so a lot of people think it would be easier, right, for one person to be in prep and the other one to be in off season. But we've actually found it's easier when we're both kind of like in the same phase because it's like, when you're in prep, you're really just like you're focused on what you're doing. You have to nail your cardio, the nutrition. There's not a lot of like date nights happening, like, there's that like goal in mind. So when the other person is in off season and you're more kind of like he gets a little bit more like reserved when he's in prep. Um, for the other person to be like, well, let's go out and have a date night or let's go do all these things when you're in prep. It just doesn't like align very well. So even now, like if he does go into prep, usually I'm like doing like a mini cut or something like that. Just so we're kind of like kind of within the same phase, even though I'm not like competing.
Yeah.
Um, but I get a lot of questions from people like spouses that, or girlfriends, boyfriends that are not competitors and have never competed. So
Mhm.
at least for them, I think there needs to be just a kind of like a level of understanding of what the other person is like going through because it's like going through a contest prep that it is not easy.
Mhm.
And I think the person that's not going through a prep or has never done it, they can kind of like lose sight of that and not have a really good understanding of what that person is going through.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, the person going through the prep has to have like a good understanding of what their partner is like experiencing, not having their person as present with them. So I think there just needs to be like understanding from like both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, and so to speak on that, like I'm with you. Like, so me personally, I coach a lot of like couples, ironically. I like, I don't like them to do the same show, but I do like them to be able to like 6, 8 weeks out of each other. And reason being is I've coached people who like, and because clients they'll think like, oh, we're gonna do the same show, and I'm like, it's good until you've got to be up and get your hair and makeup done. He needs the microwave and his cream of rice is spilled. He's in your way, you're in his way, and it's not. You're both very selfish on that day, as you should, and you realize there's no support.
Mhm.
And you oh, we want to be backstage together, and it's like that's 7 minutes that you're together and
Mhm.
it's not like to me it's not beneficial, but it's also like, hey, 6, 8, 10 weeks out we're still dieting like you're saying,
Hmm.
but and you can have the free meal after and all that.
Yeah.
I've had some that they don't like, they're still 3 weeks out and they're like, well, I'm sorry but you can't eat, like it's just what it is. So that's a good point, like
Yeah, I mean, me and John have done shows together, right? And like, it's always been like a really like fun experience, just like being together backstage. But on the support end of it, right? I would much rather not be competing and have like all my resources like going towards like supporting him and helping him with his food or his tan or just helping him with whatever he needs and being able to be like more present for when he does go on stage because whenever I have competed, like I get like very anxious and have like high anxiety and I can't really like be as present for him. In the past, he's really had to be like more present for me because I never handled the stage as well as he could,
yeah.
So I mean that would just be my preference is just like not doing the same show together, even though we have had good experiences.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
you make a good point, like just being the support, like you know what it's like, those, 10, 11, PM runs to CVS, or, we ran out of this, or hey, I've missed 2 meals because I'm running around taking care of you or carrying your
Mhm.
bag. And people don't factor that stuff in. It's like on paper, it's the greatest idea in the world to like do
Mhm.
the same show. But the
Yeah, it's
reality,
very different on paper versus like the actual day coming. And, it would be great if everything ran on schedule. But I think a lot of us know like nothing ever really runs on schedule between hair, makeup, tanning, the actual like show running on schedule. Like there's always going to be something.
yeah. Yeah, I can imagine, and that's where, yeah, I think like, but like you said too, like the understanding and patient side of it during the prep, because like you said, like a lot of times the people who've never competed before don't they don't understand like
Mhm.
what's going on. But at the same time, the athlete, to me, it's on them. It's like, hey, like you're putting them through something they have no idea. Like they have no clue. So like each of you have to hold each other's hand through it, and hopefully your love is strong enough to last. But it's something like,
That's a real test.
yeah, yeah.
For
It
sure.
it was always would have a joke. It'd be like, for every, contest prep, you get a pregnancy or something like that. It's like, obviously that didn't happen, but yeah, it's something like there's got to be a balance to the
Mhm.
relationship at some point.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
For you in your competitive career, what was, because we asked John this as well, best or favorite show and least favorite show experiences that you've had?
Oof, man, so I think my best and favorite would be my very first like regional show for my wellness debut. It was just that whole like the show and then post show, like everything was just like a great experience. I think also like I hadn't competed for a long time. Like I had done like a figure competition like years before and kind of decided it wasn't for me until like wellness came around. So it was almost that like novelty of like stepping back on stage was like really exciting. And like I loved the look that I had brought to that show, even though it wasn't like if you look back on pictures now, like it's totally not wellness. Like I look like I look like a like action figure. Like it's totally not wellness, but it was a really freaking cool look. So I really like that look. Um, and I did win my class in like I did not win the overall, which kind of like stung a little bit.
Mhm.
But I qualified for nationals, so that was really cool. And then post show we like just had sushi and like went to the beach because it was in Tampa.
Okay.
So that was my like favorite show experience. Um, my least favorite uh, would have to be actually when went back to Tampa and did my second pro show, which ironically I won. So why wouldn't that be my favorite show?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you
Mhm.
win your first pro show, like you would think, well, that has to be pretty cool, right?
Mhm.
It was, but that it was just I was not in the right mindset because I found out 2 days after I had gotten like COVID. So I went into that show feeling like I had like allergies,
Hmm.
had taken like a COVID test, but it came back negative, and just it was like immediately post show came down with like 102-degree like fever and just like so the whole experience was kind of like muddied by that,
Mhm.
so I couldn't truly like enjoy like winning that show. It was just like honestly like I was on so many like allergy medications that I don't even know what happened when I was on stage because my head was like in the clouds. I'm just like I don't know what happened. I know I was just up there and like you
Oh
know
my God.
so that has to be like my least favorite experience.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Let's see. We got asked your skincare regimen.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Everyone wants to know.
I
Yeah.
need like another hour. No, I'm just well, so this is the part that people don't want to hear because everybody wants that like topical that they just like throw on and all of a sudden they have like this beautiful skin, right? But I eat specifically for like skin support. Like I'm eating the fruits and veggies. I'm eating like a lot of like fermented foods for like gut health, right? Which is going to directly impact like your skin health. So I'm doing a lot of like kombucha, like kimchi, like sauerkraut, that kind of thing. I make sure to get my omegas in and like healthy fats. So if anybody's going to start anywhere, it needs to be with their diet. right? So it's gonna like nice skin, healthy skin is gonna start from the inside out. And then from there you can start adding in like your more like topical stuff. So I have like a 6 peptide like serum that I use. It has like all these like different, it has copper peptide in it, a bunch of other ones that I can't even remember. And then just like your general like cleansing, hydrating type of thing, right? So it's very basic when it comes to like the topical stuff.
Yeah.
But I did start what is it? I always forget the name, the copper peptide, G
GHK.
GHK.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I did start that like, gosh, I want to say it's been about a month that I've been on it. So I think it's a combination of all of those things, and I really have like noticed a huge difference. So
That's super
Good
helpful.
to know.
that's it in a nutshell. I
Yeah.
could expand on it, but that's the short version.
Guys, if anyone wants to know mine, I'm a so Old
Guys just
Spice.
like throw water on their face and they're good.
Guys, Old
I like,
Spice.
oh, I have to remind John like to wash his face. I'm like, dude, you have like crusties in your eyes. Just some water in the morning, just come on.
I'm that guy with the 3-in-1s, the like the shampoo, condition, body
Brother.
wash, oil change, whatever you need.
Yeah,
And dude, I may have like one bump a month. It's like I'm
dude,
annoying. Yeah.
I feel like that's majority of guys is
Yeah.
like they can do like nothing for their skin and they wake up and they're like glowing. Like,
Yeah.
damn it.
That you have good skin and good lashes, you'll really get some girls jealous.
Yeah, and that's another thing, like, especially John's lashes, like everybody's like, wow, you have such pretty lashes. And he's like, oh, I hate them. I'm just like, people pay good money for some like nice lashes. So,
Yeah. Oh, that's
but
funny.
he says that the trade-off is that he has a lot of body hair, which is true.
Okay.
So
I get that.
Oh, are you the back shaver? Do
I
you
get that.
do you
Let's see.
it's my official title.
okay. It's in your J3U bio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell him it's like shearing an animal because it's like I use like the clippers on his back and there's just like hair like falling on like the ground. It's like
Oh my God.
it's a lot.
What is the best advice for self-image slash comparison through social media?
Mm,
Yeah, because like we have girl like so you're one of my inspirations that I send my female clients because like right now everyone's deep in their off season. It's winter time, and a lot of them can't handle the body image and like to the point they won't post. And I'm like, hey,
yeah.
look, like Renee says a lot of body positive stuff, but you're real about it. Like you're not like hiding it.
Yeah, and like gosh, this is something I have like struggled with throughout. The first time like I like thought I was fat, I was probably like 5 years old. So this is like
Mm,
body image specifically, like this is something that I've dealt with like literally my entire life.
Mhm.
So there has been a lot of work that I've done on it. Um, but then you add social media into it, and it's like a different beast, you know. And then not only social media, but you have even just a little bit of a following, you're gonna get there's gonna be a lot of like pressure put on you, just from like external like pressure. And then you add competing into it. And that just kind of adds like another layer because it's like, okay, well, I'm supposed to look a certain way and kind of like fit into this like box, right? Because I
mhm,
mean, at the end of the day, like that's what competing is, right? Like this is the criteria, you fit within it. So it's like I completely understand, especially for women, it's like you go into your off season and suddenly you gain some body fat and you're like, oh my God, like I don't even like look like a competitor anymore, right? So I think it's like just understanding that one, you do need that like phase, right? Because especially women, we can't stay like stage lean all the time. It's just not going to happen for the majority of us, and then it's like understanding that social media is a lot of it's just fake. You know what I
mhm,
mean?
Yeah.
Like there are going to be competitors that take photos during their like peak lean times and they're going to post them throughout the year. But the
Hmm.
reality is they're not that lean throughout the year, but somebody else is going to see it and be like, well, this person is like lean 24/7. Why am I not lean? And it's like,
Mhm.
well, that's your perception, right? But it's not the reality.
Yeah.
So,
That and then just finagling angles and and it's fine, like it's to each their own, but at the same time it's very like I love like you posted this photo like you were like sitting down like at the pool and you posted you like almost didn't post it. And I was like, man, like I wish every girl could just see that. And even guys, like we deal
Mhm.
with it too. And it's like, man, like you're picking yourself apart when you're just sitting being a normal human, like
yeah.
not in a pose.
Well, and then that's another thing, right? We think that we're like, oh my God, I have like all this extra body fat and like look at this roll. But to the vast majority, you're still very lean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, people that aren't within the like competitive world are gonna look at that from the outside and be like, what the fuck is this person talking about?
Yeah.
So it's just all about like perception, which like really you just have to like enjoy your body in every single phase. I mean, there's good things about every phase, right? Like it's always fun to like cut down and like see changes happening and be like, oh gosh, like I've never seen this muscle before. That's fun. But off season is fun too. Like you can get super strong in the gym and I feel like I personally feel like clothes just look better when I have a little extra body fat on myself.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So I enjoy that. So it's really just like what are the positive things that you can take out of each phase? Because there are positives to each one. You just have to like focus on those.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. I tell some of my girls that like I'm closer with, I'm like, hey, like I need you to be a big bitch right now. Like and like
Mhm.
we'll like make it a joke and like I'm like, damn, like that's a strong bitch right there. Like just
Yeah.
something to like get them laughing and like joking about it, but at the same time focusing on something different. And then they start sending me stuff that like I'm huge. Like it's cool like to have that mindset shift rather than just like
Yeah.
have because at the same time, like people they'll be in a prep and they'll love their check-ins and stuff for stage, but then at the same time they're scared because they don't like how they look in an actual bikini because they're like, well, I don't have a butt. And it's like, okay, so we're constantly not happy. So let's just start finding
Yeah. And that's
positive.
the thing, right? You can't constantly like be in this state of unhappiness with your body. It's like just that's
Yeah.
just a battle you're just never gonna win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that and it's like, what's the point of all of this, right? At the end of the day, it's like if you're, because I mean, we're all guilty of it, right? I think it's a very human thing to experience, but it's like a lot of us, especially, I feel like when you're early in your journey in this, it's like you start prep and you're like, okay, well, I'm small now. I can't wait to get big. The first thing we hear at like 6 weeks out, I
Mhm.
can't wait for off season. I can't wait to be big.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you're like, well, now I miss prep. Now I'm fat. It's like,
Yeah.
well, you gotta. It's not even that you can't, because like two things can always be true. It's like you can acknowledge the parts that you don't necessarily love, but I almost like try to teach to put your blinders on and just focus on what you do love. It's like
Yeah.
let that be your value system for a while.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
It's a fun world that we're in, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But like we've talked about it too, it's like you don't want to get into your like 60s and look back at like your prime of this and be like, damn, I looked really cool. And when in that moment you can't look at yourself and be like, damn, I did look really cool.
Yeah. And I think we've all done that even now, right? I can look back on pictures from a couple of years ago and be like, wow, back then I thought this about myself, right? And I'm like, now I look at those pictures and I'm like, damn, like I actually looked really good, So
Yeah. Yeah.
so stupid.
Let's see. How to mitigate unwanted body fat while having a high appetite.
Yeah, one of my friends asked this because she's like, I saw Renee was like, just because I can eat as much as John doesn't mean I should. And I was
Dude,
like,
like I've gotten like I don't know what it is, maybe just getting older, but when we first started dating, like actually this is probably up until like a couple years ago, like would be able to like match him like if we went out to eat, like there's no reason why a 104, I like kind of fluctuate in that like 145, 150 range, right? Like
Mhm.
why this like 145-pound female can like eat the same amount as her 200 100 pounds over me like
Yeah.
husband, right?
Yeah.
Because like damn, should you be eating like 8 sushi rolls?
Yeah.
Like 'cause that's kind of a
Was
lot.
was John ever like, hell yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, you can eat a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's kind of a
Yeah.
problem. I mean, I love food, but I think I've gotten to the point where it's like, I just see it more as like I don't necessarily just eat from the enjoyment aspect anymore.
Mhm.
It's more like, what is this food doing for me? Which
Mhm.
comes back to the I'm eating for like skin health and all these things, right? I'm not necessarily eating just for the enjoyment aspect of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you have a day like do you have a cheat meal a week where you're just like,
No,
good?
not even like a week. Maybe I don't have a set cheat meal, honestly. It's like maybe once a month, if that.
Okay.
Like my whole like appetite and kind of relationship with food has like really changed, especially after like being done with competing.
Hmm.
Like I used to have like these very like high cravings, and I would live to like go out and have like a cheat meal. Now I'm just kind of like, meh. I
Yeah.
mean, I still love food and I love cooking, and I like going out to like a nice dinner, but it's not something that I necessarily like need to have
Mhm.
anymore. Whereas before I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
ready. So
I think the biggest thing I see with you and John both is you make your food taste good, and you put a lot of effort into it. Like to the point, I have some athletes asking for recipes. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Watch Renee's YouTube. Like, I don't like it's not
Yeah.
me. So
yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? I mean, you can make even in prep, you can make your food really enjoyable.
mhm.
Yeah, your calories might not be as high and you still might be hungry, but you can make the food that you have and the food that you're eating like enjoyable. You don't have to suffer through like plain like chicken and like I don't know, like spinach. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can make it enjoyable.
That was one of my feedbacks on my coaching review. Is John was like, not everybody might not like chicken and rice, Alex. It's like, no, they haven't said so. So
Yeah,
we're
they
gonna
haven't
keep it
spoke up.
in.
They're just like suffering through
Yeah.
it. They're like, oh, I hate this. Damn it.
I think circling back to something you were sort of touching on, because I think a lot of us that compete almost have like a preemptive fear. Did you find was it a hard transition to like when you decided to step away from competing, like as far as like finding identity within yourself?
There was kind of like a almost, I mean, so when you are competing, right, you put a lot of yourself into it. Like
Hmm.
to be successful, you have to put 100% of yourself into it. So, when I did like kind of decide to stop, there was almost this like um it's almost like a grief phase, almost like it's a part of you that you have put so much into, and it was you did love it, but just to make that decision to step away, you are gonna like grieve that part of you that's just not going to be there anymore.
Yeah.
So there was kind of that like adjustment period for me, and I had to really like think about you what are the aspects of competing that I did enjoy? And I had to really think if, that was the right decision for me. And it definitely was without a doubt. But I feel like just the half portion of like this year, I've really, because my last competition was in 23. And
Hmm.
I feel like it's only been from the like last half of this year that I've really like kind of made peace with it in
Hmm.
a way. Like I see shows now, and I see the girls on stage and I'm like, okay, yeah, they look amazing, but I don't have this like that FOMO, like, you know what I mean? Like I wish
Hmm.
I was up there or anything, or feel like I'm missing something. Like I don't feel like that anymore.
Mhm.
Can I
What
ask?
are
Go ahead, Chris.
no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
There, and this wasn't on the topics, but I want your input on the direction wellness is going from where you when you first, because like when I first saw you, I was like, that's like you were
Yeah.
the poster child in my eye.
Well, you know what? It's funny, and I'm not even like surprised at the direction that it has gone in because this has happened to every division, right?
Mhm,
I mean, you look at bikini, you look at figure, you look at WPD, like the people that were winning initially when these like classes came around, like they wouldn't win a show now.
mhm. Yeah.
Like if you put Nicole Wilkins on a figure stage right now, she wouldn't be winning because like it's just completely different, right? So it's like every division is gonna kind of like evolve. And especially wellness, it has kind of like evolved into a more like muscular,
Hmm.
like, it wasn't like that to start out. Um, so I'm just not surprised.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's where, because like one of the questions I got, which I'll answer real quick, was with peptides coming in, do you think that's going to take place of the drug use for females? And I was like, no, it's not going to take
I mean,
place.
let's be honest. Like, no, I mean,
Yeah.
peptides are only gonna, and on top of that, like, they're like, we don't really know as much
Mhm.
about peptides, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we know more about like the PED side than like peptides. We don't know like long-term use of peptides. Like, we don't know, there's a lot of like gray area there. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's not going to take the place.
Yeah. My thinking was no, they'll just add it on top of it. Like
Oh, yeah, for sure.
they'll just like,
More
yeah.
is better.
Yeah, and there's coaches out there prescribing trend to these girls. Like, you
Yeah.
think
Mhm.
adding a peptide or two is gonna like they don't care. Like, sure, do it all.
Well, anything to win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that was actually kind of transitioning to one of our last questions is talking about PED usage affecting female fertility.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I've
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
seen
that's
that happen. I've known people to compete for years and then finally decide to like kind of like step away and decide they want families. And honestly, it's already too late,
Yeah.
even with like IVF, and it's just not a thing. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I find myself having that talk because I'll coach. I coach a lot of. I'm getting a lot of younger girls, ages, 19 to 26, and we have like so. My thing with them is I talk to them. Hey, like, what are you doing with work, with school? Like where do you want to go? And then also when it comes to PDs, I'm like, hey, listen, you can tell me right now, Alex, I want to do the kitchen sink. I'm still not going to give it to you
mhm.
because your decisions now at 21, 22, 23, you might not be anywhere near this at 30, and I'm not going to
No,
do
like I can say like I mean I've been that age once, right? And
that.
that's around the age that I like started like lifting and getting into the gym probably around I don't know like 22, 23. Kind of at that time like I would have like done anything to build the physique that I wanted. And had I known that PEDs were a thing at that time, like I probably would have been like hell yeah, like load me up. I want the kitchen sink.
Mhm.
Like I'll do anything to like reach that next level. But I'm so glad just did not know that world at the time because what I want now it would be like vastly different from what I wanted when I was like in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I have a lifestyle client that kind of the same thing, like 21, right? 21 years old. Like I want to do like PEDs. I have no intention of like competing, but it's like, first of all, like lifestyle, I feel like there's no reason to even like touch PEDs.
Yeah.
Like PEDs should be reserved for the competitor that is trying to be competitive,
Right.
right? And you're not at that age, you're not giving yourself time to even like know what your natural ability is,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and a lot of people don't want to hear like, well, focus on your nutrition and your training and your sleep and your recovery because that sounds boring. It sounds a lot funner to be like, hell yeah, take this drug,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then for the coaches that will just prescribe it, it's like, well, yeah, they're gonna, change faster and do better, and then they'll like me more, and so they're very drug happy. But I start off that conversation all the time with some people who may be drug happy. I'm like, hey, I need you to understand you could ask for your money back right now and I'll give it to you. But this is my
Hmm.
honest opinion. And usually they're like, wow, like, okay, thank you, but it's a interesting world in that aspect, especially with the younger females and even the younger males, because it's like, man, like you just don't know what you want. And
Yeah.
that was something when I stepped away from competing, I realized it was like, man, it's just not that deep. And what I
Hmm.
mean, what I mean by that was like if you missed a meal, if you took an extra rest day, like my body didn't really change a whole, like I didn't disappear like I thought I would.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so that was kind of like a breath of fresh air when I personally stepped away from
Yeah.
competing.
Yeah.
I think too, what we see is, I think we've all seen it with our own clients that we've worked with. Like, we've gotten those cases of people who, because they don't fixate on the fundamentals, like I've seen people come to me on grams of gear who look like they don't work out, and I've worked with natural athletes that run circles around them
Hmm.
time and time again.
Well, and that's
Like,
the thing, right? Like if you don't have that like foundation built, like what is it going to do? It's
mhm,
literally like trying to build a house without a foundation. Like what's going
mhm.
to happen, you know? So,
It's like an exponent, because if you have the fundamentals in place, and yes, we utilize some PEDs, like, yeah, you can do exponentially, like the rate of progression can be exponentially faster, but at the same rate, like it can be, the rate of regression can be exponentially faster too, you know? Like
Yeah.
I remember I worked with a guy years ago who came to me on like, it's like 3 grams of gear, and he didn't look like he worked out, and he had was 26 and renal failure, had a
oh,
polyp on his liver and like tachycardia,
Yeah.
and
ugh,
didn't look like he'd picked up a weight in his life. So it's
oh,
like, if that was the only thing, I know so many people want to believe that, especially the younger generation. If that was like the only thing we all required, it would just be a game of who could fit the most in a syringe would be the best.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like that across the board. Like you'll see people get overly specific and detailed on their training, and I'm like, dude, I have a pro who like could literally like he could train full body every day, and he would still beat you. Like
Mhm,
there are points where it doesn't matter. Like you either have it or you don't to a certain extent.
mhm,
But yeah, I think the PED question is huge because it's people look at it, and we've talked about this before, like they look at us like we're like the Disney Channel of competing, and and it's like, no, like we want like you guys to take drugs, but we want you to do it the right way, the healthy way, and when it's time, like that's
mhm.
it's a big caveat.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And it's like there is a certain level of just like risk management there, right?
Hmm.
It's like especially for women, it's like there's a lot of risk there involved and just everybody's response to whatever they're taking is going to be like very different.
Yeah.
So they could see, XYZ competitor or know a competitor and be like, well, she's taking this and she hasn't had any side effects. It's like that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to have any side effects. Like you could be
Yeah.
taking it and get like no muscle gain and all the side effects, you
Yeah.
Yeah.
know? So it's like
Yeah.
risk versus reward at that point. It's like, what are you willing to risk versus like, what are you getting out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's all reactive based too. Like, we can't know what it's going to do until we've seen what it's done. Right.
Hmm.
It's like, unfortunately, we can't see into the future. Right. And I think that's where, going back, especially on the women's side of things, that's what, like, almost, it bothers me about this industry where it's headed, because to Alex's point, I think a lot of these coaches are, one, I think a lot of them are just taking male-based protocols and assuming if you just cut the dosage and hand it to a woman, it'll work the same. But then two, they're just trying to look at this from the, oh, well, what if I can produce this transformation faster, or
Mm,
whatever it may be. They're not considering the negative repercussions that they could be faced with.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and for the speaking on the fertility side of it, I was talking to I pitch it like this to clients. I'm, hey, look, I need you to understand that like fertility and health is over here. Bodybuilding enhanced or unenhanced or just competing in general is way over here. And like I'll try my best to like meet you in the middle, but at the same time, I can't predict, like female and females especially, like you're born with X amount of eggs, and so like yes, it's my job to make sure that like we keep an ovulatory menstrual cycle as best as we can. But there's going to be times we lose it. There's going to be times I have to, do what we need to do to try to get it back. But there's no guarantee that like you're just safe.
Mhm.
And that's, I think it's too like, because you meet people who need IVF and fertility help who don't even know what an Anavar tablet looks like. So like
Mhm.
you could have just already been that person in general, and then you decided to go and bodybuild, and it just didn't help.
Mhm.
But I think sometimes we get kind of in this tricky spot where it's like, well, my coach did this to me. It's like, well, we didn't know. Like, did you try to get pregnant prior? Like I don't know. Like it's sometimes at the end of the day, it's like, hey, we're not like your fertility doctor.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. Like you can present them with the information, right? And like this is what it is, and ultimately, like you have to do a certain amount of research on your own and kind of make your own decision, right?
Yeah.
Like, um,
Did you have a so we talked about this in a couple episodes back. Did you have like a line like, hey, I'm not gonna take this? Like, did you have any like non-negotiables, or did John like kind of
he's always been like, especially with me, right? He's always been pretty like conservative with what we would do. But I like personally, like I trusted him with everything. So I was just like, oh, you tell me to take this, okay.
yeah. Yeah.
He's not gonna like lead me down like the wrong path or anything
Right.
like that.
Right.
So, but I will say I did get to the point, and this was like one of the reasons why I did stop was I did kind of like see the direction in which the division was going. And, just for myself, I was like, what am I gonna have to do in order to be competitive with these girls that
Mhm.
already have like these amazing like genetics and can probably not have the greatest like training structure or execution or all that stuff, but they're still gonna look amazing because they just have this like these genetics that are just like like
Mhm.
they were
Yeah.
meant to be in this division. I'm specifically talking about the Brazilians for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, what am I gonna have to do to be competitive with them, right? And it's like, for me, it just wasn't worth it. Like, I just
Mhm.
didn't want to go there.
Mhm.
That makes total sense. I wish more people would look at that. I wish they would understand, like, hey, and same with guys. It's like, hey, no matter what you take, you're not going to be Phil Heath.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and I love like that argument. Well, Phil did this for his training, or Ronnie did this for his training. It's like, I'm sorry, but you're neither of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
like, why are you even using that as like an example? Like, these are like elite like genetics that we're talking about, right?
I don't know if Chris gets this, but I get it. Like we get our clients pitch you and John. They're like, well, John does this.
Mhm.
Or I saw Renee doing it this way. Like, yeah, sure. Okay. Well, if you can be her, then great. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh.
this is clearly the missing piece of the puzzle, and I
yeah,
just forgot to throw it in there. I'm
yeah,
so sorry.
Yeah, like, oops.
yeah,
Yeah, don't slip
Yeah,
my
every
mind.
now and again I'll get the question like on like say like one of my like transformation photos, right? They're like, "Well, is this achievable like naturally?" And I'm like, "Well, I fucking know somebody's like natural ability for one."
yeah.
Like like I fucking don't know. Like somebody out there is probably natural and looks 100 times better than me. I don't like
Yeah.
like, can't answer
Oh,
that.
that's the worst question.
Yeah, it's I that's one that I hate because I'm like, no, and if you think I'm natural, that kind of hurts my feelings anyways, so it's fine. Um, Alex, you put in a fuck Mary kill in this with no additional
Yeah, we
context.
we we need one. We need to come up with one.
Oh gosh, like who's that
Uh,
gonna be?
yeah. We need some. It doesn't have to be a person. It's like the we were asked. It was like deadlift, squat, and like glute or bridge. But like that's too lame. We got to do something. Got to do something cooler. Um, let's do. Are you like a Christmas like dessert? Like, do you if you could like because we did Thanksgiving. Okay, let's do this. Let's do. Are you a Little Debbie fan?
Ugh.
No, okay, we're killing all a little bit.
Kill,
Renee.
kill.
Renee, that hurts.
You know what? Any of those like box, like all of that stuff, just grosses me out. Grosses me out. I don't know.
Renee is
Can't do it.
bougie. I
Mm.
That
love
hurts.
No,
this.
you know what? It's because I grew up like super poor, right? So
Mhm.
my mom used to always buy these like knockoff like Swiss rolls, you
Oh, I
know?
know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
would
Hey,
always be around the house, but like, oh, they just
What
like gross me out now.
what was the off-brand Oreo? It'd be like cream circles or
Yes, that's
yeah,
something.
what
yeah,
from like
Yeah,
Walmart.
yeah. The
Like,
yeah.
Great Value brand. Hell yeah,
yeah, yeah.
hell
No,
yeah,
Okay, we all grew
can't
up
do
the same,
it.
Renee. Just
yeah,
right there with you.
yeah, yeah.
No.
There was a lot of Velveeta or off-brand Velveeta in this household for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had powdered milk.
Oh,
Like,
Okay,
so bad.
yeah.
So bad. Ugh. My mom would stir it with like a spoon so there'd be like clumps in it.
yeah.
Like, drink your milk. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Eh,
So we won't do snack cakes. That hurts. Deborah is hurt by that too. Oh, what are we gonna do?
All right, let's just if you were to do like fuck Mary Kill, let's do superhero and villains. Like,
Okay, okay, I
yeah,
can do that.
yeah. I think of girls. Halle Berry Storm for me is pretty. She, I don't know if I want to marry her. Oh, Black. Okay, I'm marrying Black Widow. Um, for
Mm,
sure.
mhm.
Probably gonna fuck Storm. Probably gonna kill. Uh, Wonder Woman. Just not a. It's too cliche.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna marry Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman.
Good
Hell
choice.
yes.
Lovely choice.
Yes. Um, I am going to kill Aquaman. Just,
Yeah.
just mm.
And they did two movies with him just because Jason Momoa.
I like Jason Momoa because he's like close to home, but as
Yeah.
Aquaman, Aquaman, I just
Black
terrible
Adam.
like comic book like hero. I don't know.
Yeah. The movie of Black Adam was a huge disappointment with The Rock.
Yeah,
Mhm.
trying to think.
You
Ooh.
can't, yeah, you can't give the generic John answer. Like, well, I'll just pick John. He's my superhero.
You know what? I've always had a thing for Beast from X-Men.
Yeah. So basically, John.
For sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So I'll go with him. I would fuck Beast.
Hell yes.
Valid, valid.
Oh, that's awesome. Dude, that's so John's character.
Yeah, it is. It
100%.
is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Okay, here's another one. Are you, because there's always camps in this. Are you camp Star Wars or camp Lord of the Rings?
If I had to choose one, Lord of the Rings.
Thank God. Yes.
Yeah.
I've been
I like Star Wars, but I never got like really into it, like
Mhm.
deep into it, you know.
I'm newly adopted to the Star Wars family, so I have to say stick with my Star Wars gang here.
Okay.
I got reamed for have not watching it by our podcast listeners. So yes, I'm now fully Team Star Wars.
I'm Lord of the Rings till the end. I've got like 6 Funko Pops I'm staring at right now that are all
Do
Lord
you
of the
really?
Rings. Yeah, dude, for sure.
It's cool.
That and The Hobbit, those are my jam. We've got green flags in a relationship for competitors, as well as red flags.
For competitors
Yes.
specifically,
In a relationship, yes.
green flag.
I think first would be someone who also maybe not competes, but like someone who like works out, like
Hmm.
takes care of their body and was like, just puts effort. Like no matter what it is, like they can do CrossFit or High Rocks, whatever, but just they're into fitness.
Okay.
I think you're just deeply devoted to something, just a craft, right? Like just a thing that they have devotion to, so there can be at least a level of empathy towards this.
Okay. Um, so green flag. Well, I would say green flag is making an attempt to include you in whatever it is that they enjoy.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's a
whether
good
that's like
one.
bodybuilding or high rocks or CrossFit or whatever it is, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's a good one. What else would be a green flag? I think we've talked about honestly, and y'all may laugh, I think it's like being able to like sleep accommodations. Like you gotta agree on room temperatures. Like you gotta agree on like, do we cuddle the whole time or like we cuddle a little bit, then we fall asleep and separate? Like, like I think those are both green flags. If you're on the same page with all that, I think it's a huge green flag.
Yeah, that is an important one.
Yeah.
Like,
What else? I'm trying to think of another good one. Um,
Say back shaving. That one's crucial.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one's crucial.
Black shaving is a huge green flag. Yeah, I think it's just like, you know, I think a green flag, as like a competitor would need a green flag out of somebody, would be someone who is more of like a giving, like nurturing person.
yeah,
Hmm.
Like it's probably not going to work. Like two type A selfish people, probably not going to work too well. It can work for sure, but like I think you'll thrive better if you have more of that with you.
yeah, I agree on that one. John is more like type A,
Hmm.
um, and I'm more like free spirit.
Yeah,
But it works, you know.
yeah.
So
I'm trying to think of red flags now. I know we got red flags next. What would a red flag be?
I think a red flag is just getting like overly kind of like angry over minor inconveniences.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know, like, oh my God, it's my meal time and there's no chicken cooked and I'm so angry about it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Or they'll say hangry, so it's acceptable. It's
Yeah, it's
like,
like, oh, no, it's just
yeah,
gonna get worse too. Like,
yeah. Oh, what's another good one?
ooh, a red flag is, and this actually happened to me, is whoever like your significant other, somebody you're dating, gets mad when you're like, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym.
Oh, ew,
Like, ew,
yes.
I know.
Yes.
Ew, yucky.
Oh, big ick. Get out of
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. Terrible.
But yes. Like it's almost like belittling going to the gym. Like it's just the gym. Like you can't take a rest day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That yeah, gross. I think another one, and I see this a lot, is it unfortunately you see it like the male dating the female competitor, they start to think that their insecurities shine when
Hmm.
they're like they start thinking it's like sexual,
Yeah.
and it's very like, oh, you just want attention, like they'll call them like bad names, and it's like, and I know because like who's the other male in their life? Well, me. And then like I hear about it and it's like, man, like now I'm having to fight all these battles that we shouldn't even, it's like, dude, just show up and support. Like that is the biggest thing when you not only are not supportive, but then you then become like the antagonist of the whole situation.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for sure. And you're right. It totally just like shines a light on their insecurity. You know, it's like, it's at that point, it's like not even about what this person is doing. It's like, what are your insecurities that you have to like project onto this other person? Like,
Yeah.
that's
Hmm.
all it is.
Huge red flag.
Trying
Oh,
to think. I mean, let's see, I've had clients where their partners have thrown away their food. One of my buddies, he ended up going pro, but during his prep, they threw away all of his gear.
yeah,
Trying to think of what else.
that's a common one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whew.
Trying to think.
It's this stuff's fault.
Yeah, yeah. It's this, and then they just throw it all away. I'm like, yeah, you just cost thousands of dollars in a
Yeah.
migraine. Um, or like the other one too, where it's like you have to choose this or me type of deal, like where it becomes an
Yeah. The
ultimatum.
ultimatum. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. Because and And that's tough because it's like, I'll talk about that for a second because sometimes, like, But it's different when you're in your 20s and even in your 30s, and like, it's just a relationship. But like, if you're in your 40s, you got two or three kids, you're competing at a local middle school, you've done this 7 times, like, we can start to barter on that. Like, we can start
Hmm.
to be like, hey, like, what are we doing? But I tell a lot of my like older, like middle age and up clients, I'm like, hey, as long as you're not neglecting your family and you're not going broke doing this, we'll do this as long as you want.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's a huge thing is people make it like they'll be 24 and it's like, well, it's either me or the gym or bodybuilding. It's like, dude, what? It's like, it makes no sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think there are definitely caveats to that for sure, but I think the general populace, it's like it's not that deep. But I think on the flip end, like a red flag, I think in a certain capacity as a competitor in that dynamic is when it's like you're in that position of like, hey, we've done a bajillion regional shows and we haven't even won a class, and it's like you're making it your entire existence. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Where it's like,
Yeah.
dude, it's
At that
also
point,
not.
it's like, what is this for? Like,
Yeah, it's
what
like
are we
not
really doing
that deep.
here? Yeah.
Like, it's like, obviously, like, we want our athletes to devote all that they can to this, but, like, I think the best way that my therapist put it is, like, when you're on your deathbed, you're not gonna be sitting there thinking about, "Man, I wish I did more shows," or, "I wish I won more classes." It's gonna be like, "Man, I wish I treated my partner better," or, "I was a better parent," or, "I was a better
Spend
friend."
more time with the people that you love. Like, it's definitely going to be those
Yeah,
things for sure.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm trying to think of what would just give me the ick
We
during
got
a
anything
prep.
else, Alex?
Yeah. Um,
Mm,
ick during a prep would be this is just anybody, not significant others, just anybody. If they're like, oh, just try, like it's just one bite, like that would drive me nuts.
Oh, yeah, I hate that. I
Yeah,
hate that.
yeah.
It's
It's like
like,
I'm like, all right, Susan, you eat just one
yeah,
bite,
like, don't push your food on me.
put it down. Yeah,
I know myself better than that. I'm not taking a bite. Like, I'm eating the fucking plate at that point, dude.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think overall, like if we were to take this summary of like what it takes of a good partner. And like we see it with Renee and John is like, just they're each other's like rock, like they're each other's support system. Like regardless if one's competing, one's not. Like you hear Renee even now saying like, hey, like I'll go into a phase just to be more in sync with them. And it's not that
Mhm.
she has
Well, and
to.
then even on the flip side, like John will tell you this, like he was like, if you asked me tomorrow to stop bodybuilding, he was like, I would. But the thing is, I would never like ask him to do that, because I know he loves it and like it's not causing any like harm to our like relationship or like anything that we're doing. So it's like, yes, he would like quit for me but I would never ask him to do that, So it's like.
Before we wrap up, I want to ask what's like a dream vacation if you and John were to go to, like, no phones, no coursework, just like let's just go somewhere.
So ever since we like got together, we have always like had this like, well, we want to go to like Fiji and like stay in like the overwater like bungalows and
Yeah.
that, but like we kind of like bring this up every now and again, but I think that's like kind of changed for us now. Um, um, I don't know if I would necessarily have like, actually, I'm lying. I think a dream like vacation now would be going to Iceland.
Mm,
Ooh, okay.
But during like the good time of the year where it's not like crazy temps and like it's super hard to get to,
Yeah.
um, which we like had kind of like researched it and like looked at the times to go and I don't know, it looks like a different world. It looks really beautiful. So I
Yeah.
would say Iceland.
Now I got to look into that because I've never
It
thought.
looks so cool. It does. It looks really cool.
Because yeah, I've thought like the Maldives, like you're saying, like on like the little huts that overlook the water. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll look at Iceland.
it's only like
Yeah.
a 6-hour flight. I just learned that, guys. Shout out Google.
Really?
From Nashville.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, I definitely.
It's just like wildly expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. We got anything else, Chris?
It's the whole list. We appreciate everybody who asked questions. As always, everybody who's listening on YouTube, if you can, hit the notification bell, like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, if you can leave us a 5-star review, share with a friend. Renee, thank you so much for coming. We do appreciate your time today. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Sounds good. It's been a great experience. I don't do podcasts very often, but this has been fun.
Yes.
We
Awesome.
did it, guys. We did it, boys. Wrap it up. Well, until next time, guys, thank you for listening to J3U After Hours.